This is Legally Golf, where we mix law, pop culture, and the occasional chaos of real life. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Brooke Goff, lawyer, businesswoman, and professional truth teller. Buckle up, this isn't your grandma's legal podcast. Welcome back to Legally Golf. Today's guest is a living legend, a warrior in the ring, a champion of grit, and the real-life inspiration behind the fighter, Micky Ward. This is a conversation about toughness, heart, and what it really takes to keep getting up. Micky, welcome to the show. So, hi, Micky. Welcome to Legally Golf. Firstly, I'm really excited for this because I have this secret obsession with fighters and boxing, probably because I can't. But I have to say, you are much better looking than Mark Wahlberg. So that must have been a disappointment for you when you got told that he was playing your spot, right?
No, but it was cool.
Most people know your story through The Fighter, the movie, right?
Yes.
Watching Mark Wahlberg play you, did it feel accurate? Or did it kind of feel a little strange seeing somebody else kind of live your life on the screen?
Yeah, well, it seemed a little awkward, because obviously it's not you doing it, but I thought Mark did a good job. It's funny because my part was really quiet, and I'm a lot more quiet than my brother. So, Mark, he did a good job. I think I was a little more vocal than that, but, I was a lot more, I talked a lot more than that. He seemed made it like I was very passive or something. And I wasn't really like that. But he did a great job, for the time we spent together and stuff, he did a great job.
Were there other actors that you were put in front of you to play that role?
No, Mark was right from the get-go. We had a lot of actors that were off and on playing Dickie. I think it was a Daniel Craig and a few other people that they couldn't do it or they didn't, whatever, they were busy or whatever. And then they got Christian, and Christian was no one better. No one could be better than Christian Bale.
Do you watch the movie and sit back and really see parts of your life playing out in front of you?
No.
So they didn't get it that right.
Oh, no, they got it perfect. Okay. They got it really great. No. But when I watched it, it was great, but I don't watch it and think of things I
understand.
You know what I mean? They did a tremendous job. Obviously Mark told me out in LA when we were out there at his house and stuff before filming, getting so him and Christian can get used to it and stuff. Mark told me that he goes, Micky goes, it's hard to put people's one person's life into 2 hours, let alone two people. In 2 hours. So he goes, there's gotta be things that are that are right on, some things that are kind of whatever. So he goes, it's not, you can't make it exactly. You got to put things in, take things out. So I understood that, but he did a great job overall.
Was there parts of the movie that you watch back now that were a little bit Hollywoodized, so to speak? Any parts that you can think of that stand out to you?
I don't know. It's kind of hard. I haven't seen it in a while. Obviously, no. I thought it was all pretty good. There were some things that weren't as bad. There was some things that were worse. Which ones I can't really think of right now, but
sure.
You know what I mean?
It's a movie.
Right.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. But they did a great job, though.
Did you spend a ton of time with Mark Wahlberg and trying to get him to get into character?
Yeah. Yeah, Mark, we spent a lot of time, like I was saying earlier. Me and Dickie, they brought us up there a while before to train with Mark and stuff and be with Christian. So Christian can, and Mark and them, they could watch our movements and our actions, how we reacted with it, how me and Dickie interacted. Christian and Mark watched that, for 2 weeks we were up there at Mark's house and training and stuff, you know what I mean? And so they would watch us every day and how we reacted and how we were with each other. So that's so they could see Christian watched Dickie and Mark watched me, you know what I mean? And Christian, Mark did a great job with me. Don't get me wrong, but Christian Bale, he watched Dickie crazy, because I think they say he stays in character the whole time. Yeah, you know what I mean? He doesn't get out of character after you say shoot, like, I mean, they were shooting when it's over, when it's over, movie's over. I mean, not the movie, but the shooting's over, they go off. You know what I mean? Like, they go off and call their wife. Christian stays right in.
He just stayed right there.
Dickie mowed the whole 2 months or whatever it was for the movie.
I mean, he did when he goes home, great job.
Yeah, he goes home and he calls his wife, quacker, quacker. And she goes, you know, at the Academy Award, she says, I'm so glad this movie's over.
So I don't have to deal with it?
He drove me nuts acting like your brother.
You know, people see the title, The Fighter, and they think it's a boxing movie. It's just another boxing movie.
Right.
For me, watching the movie, it was a movie about family.
It was, yeah.
Above and beyond anything else.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think people that aren't into fighting might see The Fighter as a title and not watch it. But what a great job they did trying to display all the relationships that were going on in your family. The relationship with Dickie, I mean, it will say early on, was a tough one. And as the people watching the movie, it appears that we're kind of watching all of this unfold, and the character that is you is not really seeing what we're seeing from the outside, right? And it's tough to watch. It is.
Right.
What did the movie get right about the relationship with your brother during those early years when you were just trying to break out?
Right, yeah. What it got right is that I always knew that the best part of him, I never like, you know, a lot of people had told me to leave him and don't, you know, he's no good for you, he's this, that. But they might see that, but I knew how good he was for me. Whether when he was up all night for 2-3 days, for a week maybe, doing the drugs. When he came in the gym, he was a different person. He was like, even if he came in the gym, like, he never came in like, I never seen him come in off the street, off one of the shit he was doing, you know. I never seen him like, he'd be like, he wouldn't show up. He'd never let me see him like that in the gym or anything. He'd be out for a week and he'd be missed the gym for like 3-4 days, but he would never come in like that bad. And I just always, I seen his things in him that everyone else didn't see. I would never leave him, meaning like get another trainer, or I've had thoughts of it. I could have and stuff, but at the end, nobody was better. He knew me like nobody else, and we clicked like you know, it was crazy how he knew me and I knew him. How, you know what I mean? And that's a big part of like a trainer with a fighter is like how they have that bond, and like they know what, like he knows what I was gonna do before I did it. You know what I mean? That one of those type of things. So I never thought about leaving. I did think about leaving him. I did, but then I was like, nah, I can't do that when he's down and out. Do that to him, you know.
The part of the movie that made me personally most upset was the scene when Mark Wahlberg is in the restaurant with the girlfriend at the time, and the Dickie had been hustling people, like they were like, you know, he was pretending he's a cop, and the girlfriend tries to get but Mark Wahlberg to stay in the restaurant. He goes, no, I'm going to try to help him. Right. And he runs out, and then the cops beat the shit out of both of you. But specifically your hand gets hit. Is that all? Did that happen? Yeah.
He never got beat up.
Well, in the movie, it shows that they roughed him up.
He didn't get beat up.
You did, though.
I did.
Your hand.
I got 8 stitches in my head.
From that encounter.
Hand, yeah, in my hand here. See this thing?
Let's see. So they
like
showed...
there's screws in there.
Okay, so they showed them taking the baton, basically, and just they just kept hitting you in the hand with it. Yeah,
they're saying break his hand. You know, and the cops said some of them that did it were there and stuff. Like, I still get along with them, and I have talked to them, and I have nothing against nobody, and the cops are nothing. I thought... You know, I just said to them after, I says, you know, I don't know why you would do that. I would never have done it. He goes, and the cop that did it, actually, I went up to him and said that to him. And he said, Mickey, you're more of a man than I am. He goes, thank you so much for that. And why am I going to hold a grudge, you know what I mean, against, it happened. I guess if I put myself in their position, maybe they would thought I was going to do something when I wasn't. You know what I mean? So that's why they grabbed me and threw me down too. Yeah. So I don't know. But I just said, you know, I'm sorry for putting you in that position. He said, you're a better man than I am.
I was so mad at Dickie. And that
yeah.
part of the movie, I'm like, this guy is literally being you, is literally getting his shit together. Like
Right.
he's going places. He's finally coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
And you had to fuck up. Like
Yeah.
you had to do it
But
because
no,
now
the
your hand. And I'm like, it pissed me off.
But the crazy thing about it wasn't even Dickie's fault. How that even happened was another kid, I don't want to say his name. He was fighting with this Spanish kid that was whatever. And then Dickie went over and says, Mike, leave him alone, whatever. And then when the cops seen Dickie grabbing the kid, picking him up, and he said to the kids, did he hit you? Whatever. And the kid, no, Dickie don't hit me. He hit me. And the kid that really did it. He ran. He jumped into the canal. There was a canal right here. He jumped down into almost near the water. And they never seen him. And they thought Dickie did it. Well, they wanted Dickie to, you know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah, they had it against
him.
him.
Yeah, exactly. They grabbed him and they took him down. But Dickie never was the one that was hitting that guy.
So they don't tell us, though, what happened to you. That's the thing. They show your hand wrapped up. Yeah. They show you kind of out of commission. So what were your injuries from that encounter with the police?
Well, my hands were all bruised bad. I didn't get x-rays on the hands, but I got stitched up. I had all welts on my sides and my back from the. It wasn't a it was the big flashlights. That's what it was.
Oh, it was a flashlight. Okay,
those metal flashlights.
You would have been better off with the other thing.
yeah, but it was just it all happened so fast too, and I remember getting hit and bang, like smashing on my head, and my hands were behind my back and they were hitting my hands. So I was on the ground and they were hitting my head. I'm like, I wish I was a turtle, you know?
Yeah.
My head would go in, but it wasn't going in. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, fuck, I'm in trouble.
Do you think, though, that in your experience, do you think cops in general or any kind of security of any sort, they have a perception that you're a fighter and you can kick their ass? So do you not think that they probably take that into account when it comes to kind of trying to disable you in some way? Because they think if you have a chance, you could probably take all 5 of them down?
Right. Well, so the thing is they never liked Dickie, I don't think, at the beginning, you know, from all the stuff he got in. And then with me, I just fought on the Hagel and Leonard undercard, too. Not too long before that. And Marvin Hagel, when he fought Chevy Leonard in Vegas, I fought out there on that. And I was just going into the gym right after the next week to start training for my next one, and that happened. But you know, I don't know if they had it out for him or whatever, or me. I don't know. You know, people say it, and I don't know.
Do you think Dickie held you back?
No, I could have done anything I wanted to do. I wouldn't say he held me back.
In the beginning,
I just had too much. I gave him too much, I should have maybe just cut it off at the beginning, but I never. That's my brother. He taught me how to fight. He's, you know what I mean? I ain't just gonna leave him like that.
How do you navigate that though? Right? So
it's tough.
Especially drug addiction.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not. Yeah. Part of you would argue it's not even Dickie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you knew Dickie for who he was.
Yeah.
Somebody would say it's not even him, right? Like the drug addiction. Yes, he chooses to take the drugs, fine, but it's not him.
Right.
So how do you navigate that and still have a successful career and do everything you've done?
It's tough. That's why I always tell everyone it's the mental aspect of it is that's what it is. Being the mental part of being differentiating from being with him the way he is, the way I am, and then home and the family, and you know what I mean, just gotta stay mentally strong and just stay focused on what you gotta do, even though how hard it is with him and other things and life in general, you know. You just gotta stay focused and just do what's best for you, you know what I mean? And I should have probably left a lot, you know what I mean, but I didn't because I was loyal to him. And is that my fault? Is it a fault? Maybe, but that's just how I am.
You know, one of my favorite characters in the movie who's somebody who's very special in your life was your mom.
Yeah.
And talk about internal struggles. She wants what's best for Dickie. She knows you're what's best for Dickie. Yeah. She's trying to navigate it. She can't. Right. But what parts of your mom did we not get to see? Because I loved your mom. We all knew that mom. We loved her.
She loved it. She was Dickie all day long. You know, and then when I'm thinking, Mark, I never said why you like him or love him more than me. I never said nothing like that. I wouldn't even say that, but you know, it's a movie. But
Real life
yeah,
mom,
oh yeah, my real life. Dickie, if Dickie would hit someone right in front of you, she'd say, "He didn't do that. No, not him. He didn't do it." That's how much she'd lie for him.
Sure.
Oh yeah, them two were like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say she loved him more than she loved us all, but you know, she had somewhere in her heart a lot more than Dickie for, I think, all of us, because I don't know why, but that's just her and Dickie had that. Which ain't, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean,
moms have a way of knowing who needs us the most.
You're right.
And it's a semi-compliment, to be completely honest, because
yeah.
as your mom, she probably knew Dickie needed her.
100%.
And you were okay. And I think that's a great thing.
I think you hit it right on the head.
You know, so people celebrate with fighting toughness and heart, but they don't talk about the cost of it. What did the grit of all of that you've gone through actually cost you?
Well, now that I got diagnosed with CTE, 2005, I took the test with Dr. Robert Cantu, Chris Lewinsky with the BU in Boston University, the brain bank. I'm donating my brain when I pass, you know, so they can study my brain to see, so they can see the effects of it and stuff, so they can help the next generation of fighters or whatever. So, you know, so I take medicine for the concussions and stuff, for the headaches and stuff like that.
Would you have headaches every day if you didn't take medication?
No, I got the medications for like it's not for headaches. I take extended migraine from. That's the only thing I will take it away. But I take some other stuff for the concussion stuff.
I understand. Okay.
You know what I mean? Just because I get tired and like sometimes I'm like everyone's different because everyone's symptoms are different in concussions. Like not too many people have the same exact like. Some people want to hurt people. Some people want to drink. Some people want to do drugs. Some people want to whatever. Whatever. I don't have none of that. I just have like the headache's bad and like just I get very tired here like at a certain time of day, and I'll get like more cranky at a certain just little things like that. Right now, hopefully I'm good like this in 10 years. Who knows?
CTE is really coming to the forefront, especially with football players.
Yeah.
Anything where it's a big contact sport.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you didn't know about this when you were fighting. I mean, they didn't talk about it.
No, they didn't. No, it wasn't really back in the early 2000s. It wasn't really like talked about much. The concussions were a little bit, but the CTE and stuff was, you get it. You'd spar in the gym and you get days like whoa. They say that's a minor concussion. And I used to get those all the time. I spied kind of, not like, but I mean, a little, like a little buzz, you know what I mean? And how many of those have I taken? And then million times being buzzed, not days, but being like a buzz, So it's like.
If you knew now if you knew then what you knew now, would you have fought the same way?
Yep.
No.
I might sound like a nut. But
I
don't know if I would, but I'd probably move my head a little more. But
try to bob and weave just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe not take that extra shot to the side.
I'd bob away from it, not into it.
Who hit you
Roll
the
away
hardest?
from it, not into it, Mickey.
Who hit you the hardest?
Toro was one of them. Yeah, most. Yeah, it was funny because Dickie in the third fight. I come back to the corner and I'm hurt, and I'm like, I'm not really throwing many punches. I was dazed, like, oh hell. I sit down. He goes, you can move your effing head sometimes. I goes, go F yourself. It's the only thing he said to me. You can move your effing head sometimes. I goes, go F yourself. And that was it. But we had that, like,
Well, that's why you never left.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So early in your career, I had to read up on this like 4 times, by the way. So I feel like when you get interviewed, all anybody wants to talk to you about is the trilogy. We'll get there a little bit, but I want to talk about you and get to know the Micky that nobody really knows. Okay, and one thing that came up, and I will tell you, there's 5 different versions of it, so I want to hear your version. There was this freak accident earlier in your career with a hand tamper.
Oh yeah.
So happened. I've read 5 different renditions. Chat GPT will give you 3 different ones if you ask it 3 different ways. So I want to hear it from you.
Okay.
The versions I heard were pretty not great.
No.
But let's give me specifics. Tell me what happened.
This is what happened. I was in Worcester. We were doing a Costco's parking lot or whatever it was. Or whatever was just opening up or whatever. And so I drive in a roller, like a roller, and I come to a radius. And I had to get off and to go around, and I was gonna go around, and I was gonna tamp it with the tamper. I had the tamper on the front of the roller, and the roller was like high, so I take the tamp and I threw it off to the side, and then I leaned over and I jumped like that high, or maybe even higher. I jumped down, and the tamp, instead of falling down, it stood up, and when I weighed on it. And it ripped through my pants. It ripped and went in my.
It went up your ass?
Well, not up my ass, but it hit my ass and it ripped its own thing this way.
Oh, God, that's even worse.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh man. I'm like, oh no. I went kind of shocked, I'm like, I went to the ground and like blood's like just like. So my foreman, Michael Point, the hole was like, no, the hole was probably like that.
Big enough.
Yeah. So what happened was he says, Mickey, I gotta see it. He goes, let me see it. So I turned it over. He goes, call an ambulance. Because the blood was just like pulsating, like, poof, poof, poof. So what it did was it ripped all the muscles that make you, hold your, hold your, if you gotta go to bed. Yeah. All the muscles, it tore everything apart down there. So what they had to do, I had to get emergency surgery so they could restruct all the muscles and stuff like that, and all the little like vessel, all them things. So I had like so many. I had stitches inside. I had like they had to cut from in. Like they had to make this. In other words, like they had to pack it. It was like a 5 or 6 inch hole down. So they had to pack it every day. A visitor nurse had to come to my house
with a drain and everything.
Drain it, pack it. Put saline solution to clean it and stuff. You know what I mean? And then that's what happened.
How long was the recovery for that?
Like, yeah, I could still feel it to this day. Like when I sneeze or cough, like the pressure down there.
Wow.
You can still feel it to this day. But probably like 4 months, maybe 3 to 4 months.
Now, did this happen before you really had your big break in boxing?
Yeah.
But you were boxing at that time.
Yes, yeah.
So what does that do to somebody like you mentally? Because think about this. You're in a ring.
Yeah.
You're getting hit in the head. Something awful could happen to you. Except that's not what happened. You're putting yourself in dangerous positions, and the one thing that happens is a freak accident.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a turning point for you, that you're like, listen, I could have died. I didn't.
Yeah.
Do you think that you boxed differently after that?
No, not at all. No, I just felt it was unfortunate. I felt it was like that wouldn't happen if you did it 100 times. It wouldn't happen like 2 times maybe. And me, it happened maybe. Yeah, exactly. So I never really thought about it like that. But no, I just kept moving on and just.
And I'm a personal injury lawyer. So did you bring your workers' comp case?
What? No, I didn't do it. The guy was my friend of mine, and I never sued.
It's not suing; it's a claim.
No, I know that, but me at the time, I was thinking if I did that, the poor guy would. I'm like, nah, I didn't, but I could have.
And my commercials weren't out yet, but I can tell you, I take my commercials and I educate people that when they get a hand tamper up their ass, they call me and we work out a workers' comp claim for that. But it's okay. No, he wouldn't. It's not a lawsuit to claim, and as long as he had comp insurance, it would have been fine. But we're good. I mean, I personally will tell you, if you can survive that, you can survive anything.
Yeah.
And come back and fight after.
Yeah, that was. It just like every time I'd sneeze, cough, I don't know how long. Sitting around, I had to like that with that pack, and I had to sit like to the side for like so long, and have a visitor nurse come and drain it, and that was embarrassing.
I think you were probably in so much pain. I don't even know if vanity was a thing.
No, not at the beginning, but when they come like after,
I hear you.
All right.
A little shy.
You gotta, Spread your cheeks. All right.
People
sure
describe you as shy.
Make sure you're clean down there.
Do you know people? There are people that have described you as very reserved and shy.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that was probably your worst nightmare.
Oh, 100%. I'd rather get punched in the face all day long.
Well, I would too. After you described it to me, sign me up. That, please.
Yeah.
So Sugar Ray Leonard, right, was also big around this whole time with everything going on, right, in your world. And I know Dickie in the movie had spoken to him when he was at an event, and there was this whole thing, and Dickie was obviously looked up to Sugar Ray Leonard. Yeah. But what do you respect more of Sugar Ray Leonard? Skill, discipline, or the ability to avoid the unnecessary punishment? Because he was a fighter like that nobody's ever seen from his time.
What I like about him the most or whatever is just the person he is. The good guy that he is. He's very humble. You know, some people might have a different look of it, but the way I think of him, great guy. The way he handles himself, how soft-spoken he is, and that's really how he is, you know. I never went to his head, you know, all the stuff that he's done, the gold medals and the 5 world titles or whatever, and I think just the person that he was, I think, was the most important thing, and the best thing, I think.
We drop prime Micky Ward into boxing today. Who do you challenge first?
I never even challenged anybody when I was fighting.
Well, we're going to challenge somebody now. I'm your promoter. Who am I setting up?
Who do I want to fight now?
Who would you fight now?
104. Oh man!
At your prime. Don't forget. So we're not we're at your prime. Who we fighting tomorrow?
Well, probably whoever the champ is. I say I don't follow
dream big, right?
Yeah, I'd try. I'd want to do that. You know what I mean? Or someone up in the top 10. You know, I wouldn't want to go down and fight someone. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'd probably one of the champs.
Somebody. Do you watch a lot of boxing now? Do you still?
Yeah, I watch it here and there. Yeah, but I don't like I did when I was fighting. I don't watch every single fight, or I have to get home to watch this fight or that fight. Or
so my piece here is I'm so interested because I'm a business person with Jake Paul.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
What's your honest take on him? I thought you were going to tell me Jake Paul, and I think if what I saw in the movie is true, you'd kick his ass. So what's
too big for me?
What's that?
He's too big for me.
I don't think it matters.
I don't know. Well, you know something funny about that? I got to give him credit. He does train hard. He does respect boxing. He can punch with a right hand. He can punch, and he has gotten a lot better. And you know, obviously, you know. He was well out over his head with Anthony Joshua, but I give him credit for getting in there fighting. You know, and hey, people want to hate on him, but he trains hard. He respects it. He trains hard. He might be people don't like him because, you know, the YouTube stuff and whatever. But hey, he brought how many eyes to boxing?
Well, that's where we're going next, right? Do you think he's good for boxing or just very good at using boxing?
People look at it both ways, but I think he's good for boxing because look at all the people that on his undercards that never got paid like that. Like Amanda Serrano, all them people that would never get paid like they get from Jake. He's opened up a whole, people like other promoters don't want to hear this because they don't like him. You know what I mean? And this and that. But so be. But I think he's good for boxing.
And I mean, I'll tell you, Jake Paul, no matter how big he is, as far as famous, whatever the case might be, I gotta say, if he listens to this and hears somebody like you say that, I actually think that means something to him. I do. The legends, I think that the people think that the guys that started it all, the guys like you that had really, really worked their way and grinded, they don't respect him. And I'm finding that's not necessarily the case. In fact, I'm finding the opposite.
Right.
I mean, do you wish that the eyes were on boxing when you were boxing that they are now? Do you think it would have made a monetary difference for you?
Oh, most definite. Oh, yeah, with the money now, yeah, with the fights that I had, like with Arturo and stuff, with the money that's going around now and, like, you know what I mean, the different things, yeah, 100%. Well, back to Jake. Everybody hates on him because he's making this money, right? But he can make that money doing other stuff too, I think. Sure. He's a smart guy, you know what I mean? And at the very beginning, I was like, oh no, this is crazy, you know what I mean? I'm like, this, no.
Well, I think we all were.
Right. But then when he showed that he could, he did get better. Got a lot better, and he respects boxing. You know what I mean? And as crazy as he is, he took on like a fight that, I don't know, I mean, whoever thought he would beat Joshua? He did, though. So, I mean, hey, he took that on, that's hard. So, I mean, either he's got to be crazy, which we know anyone that fights is, or, you just don't care. But like I said, he trains hard. He gives it his all. He's brought all these YouTubers to boxing, all these eyes to boxing. What's the hate about it?
Well, especially coming from somebody that would have benefited, right? I mean, the boxers are the one benefiting.
Yeah.
In a world,
because it's just the promoters out there that aren't involved, that ain't getting, ain't those big. He's selling out these. He's getting selling out arenas big time. Big massive numbers. A lot of promoters just don't like that, and they don't like new blood coming in and taking over their old ass shit they've been doing for 150 years.
But let's talk about the promoters for a minute. So I think fans assume that if you're a legendary fighter and you do a legendary fight, your trilogy, right? Like legendary, that there's legendary money. But at your level, who actually made the most? The fighter, the promoter, or the networks?
I don't think it's the fighter. It depends on who your promoter is. It depends on who, things like that.
I didn't like the guy in the movie.
Yeah, well, that was...
Gotta tell you.
Yeah.
He would have threw you in a lion's den if he could have.
Yeah, I know.
And you might have went. Because a couple
definitely.
times I'm like, please just say no. Just tell him no,
That was my problem, yeah. It's a combination of all of them.
How much control do you actually have as a fighter, though, when the promoters get involved?
Well, you actually have the ultimate yes or no to the fight, you know what I mean, if you want to take the fight or not. The negotiations and stuff, you know what I mean? That is somewhat left to the manager and stuff like that. But you as a fighter, you have the right to say, no, I'm not going to fight him, or yes, I am. And I always just, whoever they want me to fight, I pretty much said, yeah, okay.
Do you think that boxing, I would say even more today, and we're talking about the Jake Paul stuff, do you think boxing does a better job protecting the business or a better job protecting the fighters?
I don't know. It's hard to say. You know what I mean? Because there's still a lot of great promoters out there. There's still a lot of great things out there about boxing. I love boxing. You know what I mean? But on a whole, it's kind of like the same as it always been. Kind of, you know what I mean? But there's always a lot of great promoters and stuff like that.
So let's talk about your trilogy fight.
Who?
Your fight.
Okay.
Your big one. Well, fights. Your big one. That was something that really wasn't done before, right? I mean, you go back.
Yeah, whenever, especially those kind of fights in 13 months' time. Usually you'll have one of those fights and wait 13 months to have another one.
Because you need to heal.
Right.
How were you ready each time?
Train hard. Like, you can ask my nephew Sean. We trained hard. We ran, boxed, everything so hard. It happened so fast too, I won the first one, then I gave Arturo the rematch, and then they were gonna fight someone else on the third fight, and Arturo called Pat, his manager. Pat told me this. Says, Pat, I'm not fighting nobody else but Mickey. He says, I don't care how much money. He goes, Mickey gave me the second fight, I'm giving him the third. Because they had a lot of offers for Arturo to fight like some other fighters other than me for, big money. And Arturo goes, nope, they can stick it. He said, I'm going to fight Mickey. I'm giving him the third fight. He said, he gave me the second, I'm giving him the third. That's how it was.
What was the third fight for you the hardest and or the most rewarding or challenging that you had?
The third one was, I think the second one was the most hardest because he kind of busted my eardrum, partially busted it with that right hand in the third round when he knocked me down. And I was like out of it for the whole fight. I never recovered from that because he threw it right, busted him like bang. I went down into the ropes. I was out. Then he hit me with the right hand again, the same punch. Well, not the same one, but hit me with a right hand that woke me up. I was like out, and he hit me. If he didn't hit me, I probably would have fell. But he caught me with a right hand and woke me up, snapped me out of like being dazed. And I was like, come on, and I was coming at him. And the doctor told me that it's crazy as it sounds. You can get hit out of conscience, get knocked out of it, and get hit again and get knocked back in again. And that's what happened to me, luckily.
Do you think that those fights were your big, I don't want to say break, but were your big turning point in
yeah,
boxing?
well, that was my last 3 ever. And that's why I made the most money in my career. You know, and...
But I'm more even speaking about your reputation.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Do you think your reputation
so,
is
100%.
really a big piece of it built on those fights?
Pretty much. Yeah, 100%.
CTE. We just talked about that a little bit, and you're pretty open about it. You talk a lot about it, and you'd said that you're donating your brain to research, which I think is an amazing thing that you're doing. When did the CTE start being less like theoretical and more, there's something wrong with me? Like, when did you realize, wait a minute, like I think there's something wrong?
Right. See, I never knew. Chris Nowinski had talked to me like after. Chris Nowinski, he used to play. He was in the WWE or whatever too, and he was like Harvard football. I think he played, and he was big. He was big into the BU Brain Bank, and he had called me after my fight, after my career, and said, you know, would you be willing? Would you like to get all these tests, you know, all free and stuff? Find out if you have the CTE. He goes, because a lot of he goes, because you know, I didn't know if I had it or not. You know, I mean, some people like don't have it, some people do, whatever. So I was like, yeah, I'll take a shot at it, see if I do have it. And see, they don't know they can tell if you have it, but they don't know how bad it is till you actually pass and they go in to see. So I said, yeah, I'll take the test. So I went and took numerous tests. I don't know how many things I took, you know, and the brain waves into the machines and all that stuff. And so I was glad to get it done or whatever to find out if I did have it and stuff. So.
But what made you speak up about CTE? There's a lot of fighters that have it that don't speak up.
Because it's something that people like are scared to say because they don't want to put a black eye in boxing or what. It is what it is. I mean, what do you think?
You're getting hit in the head.
Right. We think you're going to not get hit in the head for friggin' 20 some odd years or 10 years or 8 years, whatever, and nothing's going to happen to you. You know, but it was never big when I was fighting, like, never heard of CTE or nothing like that back in the 80s and 90s and nothing like that.
When the young fighters today say they're willing to accept the risk, do you think they actually know what that means long term?
I don't know. That's some kids maybe, but I think a majority of them don't.
Did you know what it meant?
No, not really. I'd see people walking around that used to be fighters and to be punch drunk. That's what it was called. And I'm like, wow, I never want to be like that. But still doing it and not even like thinking that you could be like that. Yeah, no, I don't. It's crazy because I never really even thought about it. Do you know what I mean? I never thought about like outside of what I was doing because I was probably so focused in on what I had to do.
And again,
I never thought long term.
Most people don't think CTE for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I find it hard to believe that if CTE were known about the way it is, you wouldn't have even just thought about it for a minute, saying you might have still chosen the same path.
Right.
Which it's like cigarettes with smoking. Before they knew about lung cancer, people smoked. They didn't question what would happen. They just did it, right? And now that there's lung cancer, now there's all this. So I think it's a hard question to answer. But I think what you're doing to bring attention to it is really remarkable for not only the sport, for also youth that are looking to get into the sport.
Right, yeah.
If you're a boxer, you're getting hit in the head like you said, thousands
Oh
of
yeah,
times.
that's the spot you want to go for, is the head. You know, obviously the body too, but you know, is the head punch for the knockout or whatever. But you know, it's, you know, you gotta, you know, tell it as it is, how it is. You know what I mean? You're gonna get hurt. There's risks in it. You know what I mean? How far do you want to take it? You know, that's up to you. But I don't know. The risks is there. You know what I mean?
Worst injury you've ever gotten? No hand tamper, but in boxing, the worst injury being the most painful that you received, and who gave it to you?
I think it was a punch that hurt. I fought a lot of fights in a Toragatti, you know, but I fought Antonio Diaz, right? Mm-hmm. I have a scar like right here. Mm-hmm. It's funny. We fought HBO and I'm Mohegan at Foxwoods on HBO. And I think it was like the 6th round or something. He threw a right hand at me and he hit me like right here. And it felt like someone took a hammer, seriously, right? It went kink right there. It then dazed me. It just hurt. Like it was like, ouch. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Here I am, again, punched in the face going, ouch. But it felt like someone took a hammer, right? It went ding, right in the forehead right here. And it went, the cut went down here. And it started bleeding. But I remember saying, ow, that hurt. Like, I've never, ever in my life felt that.
I always see the rib shots, and those get me. I'm like, that has got to hurt like hell.
No, Toro hit me in the body once in the 3rd fight, but no. And Manuel Gasas did once too, but no.
My opinion these days are that the women fights are more fun to watch than the men's fights. So we were at the Tyson fight, and we watched Serrano and Taylor, and they were fighting. And did you? I don't know if you watched this fight, but
yeah.
I mean, this is why you don't fight in high school.
Yeah.
Because like chick fights, because it's legit. Like she just kept running at her eye, and I mean, how do you feel? Because when you were boxing, not many women were. Like, how do you feel about women in boxing and what's happening now?
I think it's great. Like, I know Katie a little, you know.
I got to meet her.
Yeah, she's a great person. Great champion, great person. Amanda Serrano's the same thing. You know, I never met Amanda yet, but, you know, great for the sport. You know, she pumps boxing up all the time. She's, you know, a great person for that. And, I think it's great, you know. You know, back in the day, it wasn't, like you said, there wasn't many, you know, woman fights. You know, you had, what's her name? Christy Martin was the biggest one back then, you know. You know, I think it all started from a girl, Kathy Cat Davis, I think, years ago. And I think, or maybe it might have been someone before her, but it all started way back in like the 60s or 70s. But I think women's boxing is it's really entertaining.
We were snoozing during every other fight, during that Tyson Jake Paul thing, until the girls got, and everybody was out of their seats. They were cheering. They go, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
My last question for you is: when people talk about Micky Ward, what do you hope matters more than the movie?
I don't know. I'd rather be known as a good person, I'd rather just someone that gave it their all, and just someone who's a good person. That's it. I don't care if I was a good fighter or this or that.
What are you doing now? You have a bunch of really good swag on.
Yeah, I do. I got apparel with Micky Ward apparel. I got with my nephew Sean.
Awesome.
Yeah, we do that, and I help him at his gym, Box to Burn in Westford, Mass.
Is there a part of you that wants to jump back into a ring again?
Never. Huh? You couldn't give me. There wasn't enough money in this world for me to go back in. Maybe. No, my
yeah. I was waiting. No, I gave you the silence, the awkward silence.
No, I don't. For what?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you talk to people and they're not done.
CTE. Why do I want to get hit again? I mean, and I shouldn't get hit. I can't even spar. They don't want me to, you know?
Yeah.
Because that one punch could be it. So what good's all the money in the world if you're either dead or you're incoherent, you're a vegetable. What good's all that money? I'd rather be not healthy. I'd rather be healthy and have nothing than have everything and not be whatever.
I mean, I think that's the perfect way to end it. don't you? So
Yeah.
listen, I got to know you in ways the movie did not display. So I think that's great, and that allows everybody else to too.
Yeah.
And check out your apparel because it's black and whites are they're my colors. So I'm
We have
all
all
in on
colors though. We got tan. We got that.
We like the black and white.
All right.
I love the black and white. Thanks, Mickey. I appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
man.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much.